Hi, my name is Jen. I want to be a writer for the rest of my life. And so I'm really trying to create habits now that really facilitate a habit of lifelong writing. What am I after? I am not after necessarily becoming a bestseller, even though I think intrinsically that's every writer's dream, right? I feel like it's pretty safe to say that like a lot of people who are writerly friends have probably daydreamed even just a baby bit of becoming a bestseller, having your book made into a movie. I feel like that's the ultimate validation that what you have is a good story. And might not be for everybody, but I feel like the most people who I've visited with, it's pretty much what they've alluded to. Or they get huge smiles, or they start laughing, or teeter, or cover up because they've definitely daydreamed about that type of fame in some way or another. Not my objective. My objective is to solely create the best type of stories, quality stories. The reason why is because I am wanting a lot more good content out there that I feel like keeps me hooked all the way through, that is compelling, that just reaches down and touches me in the deepest parts of my soul and moves me into thinking a different way, or moves me into having a new perspective, or heaven forbid, even changing my behavior for the positive in some way or another. I have read these books before and I want more of them. I also love a good story. I've always loved a good story, and I love hearing other people's stories, and I really want to understand the techniques, the dynamics, the skills of what makes up a good story. I've studied, I've taken classes, I've read a lot of books on how to write a novel about fiction, and I've loved it. I've learned mountains worth of information. At least that's what it feels like. Probably not literally, but I absolutely would love to learn mountains more about what makes a good story. Specifically, I would love to actually practice and make a lot of good stories. That's why I'm here. I finally finished because I think something else that's very relatable. If you ever wanted to be a writer, in my case, a fiction writer, any genre, but it's fiction, and that you've started manuscripts, and you probably have several manuscripts started. And I definitely fell into that boat, and I finally finished one all the way through the entire gorgeous, growing, muscle stretching, every type of tearful experience that you could probably imagine with writing. I'm there, and my book just went live on KDP a week ago. And I did it, and I'm still experiencing bumps and learning curves and want to learn from all of it. And honestly, ultimately, in the quest to create consistent, ongoing stories that's of high quality and that can be shared with other people, and that's uplifting and can bring you, honestly, a drop of joy in some form into your life. That's what I want to do. I want to create high quality stories because that's what I love reading, and I want more of them out in the universe. With that, I have a goal. My goal is to myself, because it's almost my birthday and I am going to be knocking on the door of 40 soon. Maybe this is a midlife crisis, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be knocking on the door of 40. So something I have control over is how many words I write, and about some of my other wellness habits. Last year when I did write my first manuscript, I was in a class at Southern Virginia University, and it really stretched me. I absolutely loved it. I loved my classmates, and I loved the visiting professor. His name was Jason Wright, and all of them changed my life for the better. But I realized I only took about 2,000 or 3,000 steps a day while I was rigorously trying to learn all the things of writing. That was something definitely that I felt like I needed to change if I wanted to continue to write for the rest of my life. And so I've come up with two really big goals, and I also thrive off of massively big goals. Even if I don't quite get them, they bring me so much joy, so much joy. I know some people really get overwhelmed by huge goals because they don't feel like it's attainable. I'm probably on the other side of the spectrum, but I love having massive goals. It brings me a great amount of joy. If you're over here, I hope this does not give you secondhand anxiety, but I'm definitely gonna try to give it my best shot. These are my 2 goals. And the first one is to write 1 million words by the time I am 40. I'm almost 37. That gives me 3 years. But coupled with that, I want to also run a 6-minute mile. Those 2 connected together, because honestly, there's a lot of similarities between running and having just to put in the miles and the time to be able to learn and to be able to build up the endurance to be able to do something hard. And so I feel like that they're somewhat parallel in the discipline that's required. That is my goal, and I will begin on my birthday. And so that's 3 years to write 1 million words and 3 years to learn how to run a 6-minute mile. Never run a 6-minute mile in my entire life that I'm aware of. I did track, I played sports in high school. I was a hurdler in high school and did other sports, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't play in college, and I'm about to run this next week a half marathon. That's kind of like my base training. I've gone to exercise classes and I've loved them. I've gone to Les Mills classes, to body pump, body combat, love. But right now my base training is a half marathon for the most part. That's my baseline. I've written a book. I'm not gonna count those words. And I've done a full rep of it. I feel like this is something that's gonna stretch me so much, but in, like I said, the best huge goal type of way. And then this will be my 3rd marathon that I'll be running. I do have a little bit, baby bit of experience behind me. Still, this is an insane goal and I love it so much. It brings me tremendous joy. I'm going to share with you all of my nuances and bring you along. I'm gonna hopefully commit to posting one video a week about my update. I might divide it out so that if you're just interested in writing, that you get the writing, and if you're just interested in the exercise part, that you get that part. But really, the idea is to marry these 2 goals, and the idea is that being disciplined in one will hopefully drive the other, and being disciplined in this one will hopefully be a fail-safe, basically habit stacking in a way, habit stacking 2 really hard things to be able to really grow this lifelong habit that I want to have of writing. No further ado, I will share with you my charts of what I'll be using to track all my writing, or what I'll be using to track all my running, because we all know if you want to keep a goal, you've got to record your progress, for better and for worse. I'll try my best to be as accountable as possible. The hope is right now is predominantly using Notion. I will share with all that with you very soon, and I'm so excited to. What goals do you have, and what specific part of the process are you along the way? What have been some of your hurdles? And I'd love to know any of your additional thoughts below. Ready, set, go.